Hallelujah.
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 Harachama. Shema kolenu ya Elohim. Kus warakim alenu. Wakwabel barakamim. Ratzon etefilo tenu. Ki el shomeya tefilo watakanunim ata. Umil paneka malkenu requam al tishi benu. Kanenu wa anenu. Ushma tefilatenu. Hallelujah.
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 Hodulaya. Quir u bishmo. Ho di u. Da amin. Ali lotai. Shirulo. Damrulo. Tiku boko. Nif lo up haye. Hit halu b'shem kwacho. Yismak le. Bebak sheya. Dirshu yorewahe wi uzo. Bakshu pan nayo. Tami. Dikru. Nif lo otayo. Asher asa. Both tayo. Umish pate. Pihu. Zera Yisrael abdo. Bene Yaakov b'kirayu. Hu yorewahe Eloheinu. Bekol haaretz. Bishpatai. Dikro. The olam berito. The bar zima. The elef dor. Asher karat et Abraham. Ashbuato. The Yitzchak. Amideha. The Yaakov lakok. The Yisrael berich olam. Hallelujah.
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 Amen. Amen. Giving honor and praise to the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. This is Hebrew class number 15, or Hebrew lesson, okay, number 15, entitled Prepositions in Hebrew. All right, so we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about for edification purposes. All right, now, we're going to start, brothers and sisters, in this manner, giving honor and praise to Yah, the Most High, the Creator, Maker of heaven and earth. This is a presentation being brought to you from the congregation Shema Yisrael. On a human level, giving due respect to Nasi Zippor and his son, Nasi Natanel, and our Chief Natanel of the house of Lewi. My Hebrew teachers, More Hosea, Shalom Alai. More Tibak, Shalom Alai. Adon Aharon ben Zebulon, Shalom Alai. When I say Shalom Alai, I'm saying peace be upon him, because those are people who have passed away. We have brothers and sisters in this regard attempting to pass on the knowledge of the Hebrew language. And one of the things that we want to emphasize is that Hebrew is not difficult. It's different, but it's not difficult. It is not something that is not unattainable, or it's not something that is unattainable, should I say. You understand? One is easily able to get the language if one cares to get it. All right? So we know that it being 12 p.m., currently right now, there's not a lot of people may be able to watch or so forth, but it'll be online later on nonetheless. All right, so let's start with this particular one right here. You see this here? This here, as stated from before, all right, is the letter Lamed. So we can gain some understanding for edification purposes in regards with that. All right? Let's look at this here. If you have a Lamed makes the L sound. All right? As stated before. And this right here is the Kirik. Kirik makes the E sound in the vowel aspect. Let me get the stick. And Torah. And this right here is the letter Yod. So in that regard, it simply emphasizes or strengthens the sound of what we're talking about in that regard. All right? This spells in Hebrew Li. All right? So we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about in that particular regard for, as stated, edification purposes. Okay, Todah Rabbah. Now, the word li in Hebrew means to me. All right? So if I want to say something such as Dodi li means my friend is for me. All right? To me or for me. All right? So that way we can gain understanding this particular aspect. Now that goes for males or females when you're saying li, meaning to me. All right? Here, brothers and sisters, we see, all right, lakah. The word lakah, brothers and sisters, means to you or for you. All right? Now that is when you're speaking to a male. Now, if you're a male speaking to a male or a female speaking to a male, you would say, Zed lakah, this is for you. Zed lakah, this is to you. All right? So this is something we want to point out for edification purposes. Next, we got, brothers and sisters, all right? Change that there. All right, is, you see here, lock. To you or for you. All right, now that, brothers and sisters, is if you're speaking to a female. So if you're a male speaking to a female, or if you are a female speaking to a female, if the thing, for instance, that you're talking about is masculine, you would say zedlak. All right, this is to you or for you. If the thing that you're talking about is feminine, even if you're saying it to lakah or to lak, you would still say zotlak, which means this is for you. So this is something we just want to point out for edification purposes. So far, all right, we have, as far as the prepositions go, lamed, showing the possession, meaning to or for. Li means to me or for me. Lakah means to you or for you when you're speaking to a male. All right? Regardless of your gender, if you're speaking to a male saying to you or for you, you say lakah. The same aspect, whether you're male or female, if you're speaking to a female, you will say lak. All right? So this is something we want to point out for edification purposes. All right? We're going to continue on, brothers and sisters, in the next particular aspect that we're talking about. All right? Here we see, brothers and sisters, lo, which means to him or for him. So you say zen lo, meaning this is to him or this is for him. Now, I want to emphasize, brothers and sisters, that when we're saying this particular aspect of lo is not to be confused with this aspect of lo. All right, let me show what we're talking about. All right, Koto? Koto. Lo, in this here with the wow being shown with the kolam, that is to him or for him. This lo, when you have the aleph there, shows the aspect of it no or not. Lo tin af, thou shalt not commit adultery. So this lo that you see with the lamed, with the kolam and the aleph, that is the no or not. This lo, some people emphasize the sound of the W for edification purposes of lo itself. You will have it to where that means to him or for him. So that's something we just want to show out for edification purposes. All right. Next thing, brothers and sisters, concerning this particular aspect is this. You have this here, la, which means to her or for her. La, ze la. This is to her, this is for her. All right? So we can gain some understanding of what we're dealing with and what we're talking about in this particular regard. All right? Shown clearly, Aki? All right, Koto? All right, let me know. Right. So you have li, still meaning to me or for me, lo, meaning to him or for him, and la, meaning to her or for her. All right? So that's something we just want to point out in that particular regard. All right? So ask the brother, can you write this? All right? So let's continue on with what we're dealing with and what we're talking about. All right? Next, brothers and sisters, we see Lanu, spelled with the Lamed, with the Quamats, the Nun, and the Waw, with the Shuruk within it. All right? Torah. Lanu means to us or for us. Now, that's actually whether you're speaking, if there's multiples of females, a group of females, or a group of males, or a group of mix between males and females, you would still say, in regards to saying to us or for us, you would say lanu. All right? So that's something we want to talk about and get into for edification purposes. All right? So let's continue on in the aspect, Koto, in the aspect of what we're talking about. Now, I want to tell the brothers and sisters and elders included who are listening, we're not going over this on the actual slides or PowerPoints due to the level and a quantity of words that we're going to be dealing with as far as showing this particular lesson. This lesson, brothers and sisters, is no disrespect intended. It is not a short lesson. This is a lengthy lesson. All right. So what we're dealing with in this particular regard. All right. So then we have la, kem, and we have la ken. All right. La kem, la ken. All right. So what we're dealing with, brothers and sisters, is when you say la kem, you're saying for you, masculine plural, or la ken for you, feminine plural. All right? So that way we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about. So if I was speaking to, let's say, the brother Josiah and the brother Prince Shimshon, or the brother Josiah, Prince Shimshon, and let's say the brother Ezekiel, I would say Zelakim, which means this is for you all. That's when you say masculine plural, is who you're speaking to. All right? So that's what we want to point out. This right here, like Ken, all right, is the same thing, it's just feminine. So this is like Ken in regards to the masculine, and like Ken in regards to the feminine. All right, so we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about for edification purposes. Now, as stated, we here in Shema Israel, the Hebrew classes that we offering is not speeded. However, if this is online, later on, one can pause, stop, ask a particular question when it's seen. The question, if it's regarding Hebrew or the lesson we're talking about, will be addressed. All right? So this is what we want to talk about for edification purposes. Next, we're dealing with this particular aspect. Let's go on to the next part, if we will. Lahem and lahen means to them or for them, masculine, and to them or for them, F standing for feminine. All right. So what we're dealing with, if I'm speaking to, let's say, my sister and my daughter, right? But I'm talking about our other female relatives. I would say ze lahen. This is for them. All right. So now another thing we want to point out in regards to the lamed, it shows the aspect of having possession. All right. So this becomes important for what we're going to be dealing with. As stated, this is not a short lesson. All right. This is a lengthy lesson. All right. Thus explains why we're doing it in this regard and not in the aspect of the PowerPoint particular aspect. Another thing is this. If a person, all right, be you a zakar, a male, be you a nakoeba or a female, if you have not gone over the first 14 lessons, stop it right now. If you're listening to it after it's already recorded, and then go back, because all the lessons is on the playlist on this particular channel. All right. So that's what we want to get into and point out for edification purposes. All right. So we're going to go on to the next part regarding this kind of aspect. Now, this here, brothers and sisters, what we want to get into. As stated before, whatever is said verbally or written on a board is not just for statement or written purposes. What is stated verbally is just as important, even if it's not written out. So make sure one is listening as well as watching and taking notes concerning the subject matter that we are dealing with. All right? For those who already are familiar with this, I'm also, if you're not familiar with it, am open to constructive criticism. All right? But make sure the criticism, as stated, is constructive. Now, let's get back, Koto, in what we're talking about and what we're dealing with. Remember earlier, I said that the lamed shows the aspect of possession, meaning that which belongs unto one. So let's look at this right here. You have, brothers and sisters, this here, all right? I want to make this look a little more refined, okay? So that way we can get along in this particular aspect. Let's look at this here. You have the yod and the sheen. Now that right there, brothers and sisters, spells the word yesh. Yesh means there is, all right? That spells there is. So if you remember the notes that we just went over, brothers and sisters, you can take this, meaning there is or there are, and then apply it to the words we just went over. Let me explain what I'm talking about. You have yesh, li, yesh, lakah. All right? Now, the word here, yesh li, means I have. There is to me. If you remember, li earlier meant to me. Yesh li means literally there is, all right, to me. Also in English said as I have. Because in Hebrew, there is no set aside word meaning to have. All right? So you say yeshli, or in this regard, yeshlaka, which means you have, or there is to you. All right? Masculine, when you speak it to a male. So I would say, for instance, to the brother Josiah, yeshlaka ma'alim al raglecha, which means you have boots on your feet. All right. Yesh laka means you have. All right. So this is something we just want to go for edification purposes. So what are we dealing with, brothers and sisters? If you're seeing, for instance, the word yesh, right, meaning there is or there are, you can take the same things we just went over. Li, laka, lak, lo, la, la nu, la ken, la hem, which means what? I have, you have masculine, you have feminine. He has, she has, we have, etc. But for edification purposes, we're going to sit there and write that particular thing out so we can gain understanding of what we're dealing with and what we're talking about. All right? So let's go on, brothers and sisters. All right? You learned a new vocabulary word, such as this here, yesh. There is or there are. All right. There is no set pluralization. It's not like yesh and yeshin. All right. It's just yesh. All right. So let's look. You have what? Yesh. That stays consistent. But now let's show it with the other ones. Yesh li. Yesh lakah. Yesh lak. Yesh lo. Again, writing down yesh here yet again. Yesh la. Yesh lanu. Yesh lakem. Yesh laken. Then yesh yet one more time. All right. Lahem and lahen. Okay. So let's go on in what we're dealing with in this particular regard. All right. We have it, brothers and sisters, where we're seeing it as yeshli, yesh laka, yesh lak, yesh lo, yesh lah, yesh lanu, yesh lachem, yesh lachen, yesh lahem, and yesh lahen. So let's go over this in translation. All right. Yeshli, I have. Yesh laka, you have when you're speaking to a male, regardless of your gender. Yesh lak, you have when speaking to a female, regardless of your gender. Yesh lo, which means he has. Yesh lo ma'alim al raglayim. He has boots on his feet. All right. Yesh la. Yesh la taba'at al etzba. She has a ring on her finger. All right. Yesh lanu. We have. There is to us. Yesh lanu machane. We have a camp. All right. Yesh lakem. Now, if you already stated, you got laka, masculine singular. All right. Then you got lakem, masculine plural. Yesh lakem. You all have. All right. Yesh lakem agawa. You have a wagon or you have a cart. When speaking to two or more males or mixed company. Yesh laken. You all have. When speaking to females only. You don't, if there's a mixed company, you don't use the feminine plural. Unless you just not talking to the males in Hebrew. All right. So we can gain some understanding in Hebrew grammar and what we're talking about for edification purposes. Okay. Then you have Yesh lahem. They have Yesh lahem taf b'machane. They have a drum in the camp. Yesh lahen. They have when speaking about females in possession. Yesh lahen banim. They have sons. Yesh lahen banot. They have daughters. Yesh lahen imot. They have mothers. Yesh lahen beitim. They have houses. Yesh lahen yeladim. They have children when speaking to males or about males. So these are things we want to get into. Now you begin to see the basic aspect when we went over and I kept on saying the alphabet, the vowels, you learn to read. After you get that, you get a dictionary, then you build your vocabulary. See, if you listen to lesson number 1 through lesson 4, there's virtually then no way that you're not going to be able to understand how to read this particular stuff right here. Very, very simplistic, all right? This is something we want to keep on emphasizing. This is being brought to you free of charge from Shema Israel. We do not charge to teach the people their language. Okay? It's free of charge for the people so we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about. All right? As the brother Chief Yashar stated, we do not get paid financially for the services that we do. All right? Now, the books that I sell, yes, I do get paid in regards to that. This is why I don't have them for sale on the Shabbat. I don't want to get paid on the Shabbat for the books. Therefore, I have the option to take them off of line, take them off of expanded distribution, and take them off of Amazon and so forth. That's just a thing that I like to do, all right, in regards to that particular subject. So let's go on in what we're talking about in this particular regard, all right? We're going to move on, right, brothers and sisters, to the next part of the preposition list. We're going to be dealing with our friend in regards to the word from, all right? And we'll be dealing with our friend, the letter mem, all right? So, as we know, the numerical value of mem is 40. The letter mem makes the M sound. So, you have mem in that regard. The word mean with a mem, the kirik and the nun sofit means from. Koto? Koto. All right? This also means from. All right? In many cases, the mem just shown by that particular thing, as you see here on the top, is a shortened form of it. When you go to lesson number 5 on this, we're up to lesson 15. When I dealt with the alphabet, reviewing lesson 1 through 4, I actually showed how this is used. Me eret, me beit, abadim, from the house of. All right. So this is also as stated in lesson number 6. The mem serves as a prefix. Do you see as we go over how important it is to listen to the lessons previous to this for edification purposes? All right. So let's go on in this regard. You have here, all right, mimeni. This means from me. All right? Mem nun yo. Mimeni means from me. Mimeni BT. From me is my daughter. Mimeni hashiur hazeh. From me is this lesson. All right? So this is something we want to talk about for edification purposes. All right? Meya hashai li lilamed eta shiur hazeh. From the Most High is this gift to teach this lesson. All right. So then you have, for instance, all right, mimka. All right. This particular thing right here, mimka, the mem with the kirik, the mem with the shawah, then you have the kasofi. This is why it's important to listen to lesson number 6. All right. Mimka means from you. All right. From you. When you are speaking, regardless of your gender, to a male. All right? Mimka habrakahaz do ya Eloheinu. From you is this blessing. All right? Now, oh yeah. Now, for instance, in the song, where there's peace, there's love. Part of it says, Kol debarim ba'im Yah. All things come from Yah. All right? That mem, when it says like Yah, means as the prefix for the word in English, meaning from. All right? This is something being brought to you free of charge from Shema Israel. All right? So we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about for edification purposes. Next, brothers and sisters, all right, we're going to go on in this particular regard. I know it may seem an odd time to do a Hebrew class, but as stated, is going to be online later for those who are interested. All right, so let's go on, brothers and sisters, to the next particular subject in which we are dealing with. Okay? All right, let's go on. We have, brothers and sisters, from you. We're speaking to a female. All right, mimek, mem kirik, mem zere, kasofit with the shawah within it. Mimek. Now, if you remember and see, I'm not writing the M-E-E, the M-A, or the M-E-H, because by this point, if you follow the lessons, we should already been able to read already off here. This is why I was so meticulous between lesson 1 and lesson number 8. Lesson number 1 is not that far off in lesson number 2. Just like Genesis 1 is not that far off in Genesis chapter 2. So these are things we just want to show for edification purposes. All right? So here we got this. Make. Then we have Mimenu, which means from him. All right? Now, brothers and sisters, Mimenu habracha ha'elu, from him or these blessings. All right? Mimenu hageshem, from him is the rain. Mimenu hamayim, from him is the water. Mimenu hamazon, from him is the food. Mimenu shalom, from him is peace. All right? So these are things you just want to go over and talk about for edification purposes. Okay? So let's go on, if you will, brothers and sisters. All right? Here we have Mimena, from her. All right? Mimena, Yeladeha, from her or her children. Mimena HaKesef, from her is the silver, which is, in most cases, Kesef is translated as money. All right? Because in the ancient days, silver was the form of currency. All right? So we can get into that particular regard. The type of money, brothers and sisters, that we see today as bills is said in Hebrew as mezumah. All right? But getting back to the subject matter, you have memenah, means from her. Memenu means from him. All right? So let's go on, brothers and sisters, to the next particular thing that we can gain for edification purposes. All right? As stated, a person, when they're listening to this, can pause it at a particular minute later on when it's already uploaded, and then move on from there. All right? So you have memenu, all right? Meaning from us. So let's understand something, brothers and sisters. All right? The word memenu means from us, also means from him. This is why when I was going over this, I deliberately didn't erase what you're looking at right here, because it's the same exact word. All right? Memenu from us. Memenu from him. All right? This is why context would then have to be known for edification purposes. All right? Brother, can you wet 2 more tissues? Please. All right? So we're going to continue on, brothers and sisters, but I want to give an example. All right? Anaknu hahorim umemenu hayaladim. We are the parents, and from us are the children. All right? Hu ha'ish memenu had barim lahatzliach etabayit. He is the man. From him comes the substance to cause the house to succeed. All right? So these are things you just want to point out for edification purposes. All right? So we're going to continue and move on from this particular point. Thank you for bearing with the timing. All right? So, brothers and sisters, giving honor and due respect to Yah, the Most High, creator and maker of heaven and earth. The point and goal of these teachings is actually triplefold. 1, to help set truth back in the earth. 2, to be an example to the young ones and pass the baton on. As my teachers have taught me, so is it only right if you have the ability to teach your own people. All right? As Shema Yisrael, we would not attempt to discourage anybody from going to, let's say, even a university to learn Hebrew or so forth and so on. However, the distinction and difference is that you will get this for free. Okay, so let's go on, brothers and sisters. All right, now let's look at this. You have Miken. All right, thank you for that correction. This is supposed to be a Nun Sofit. All right. Then you have Mayhem and Mayhem. All right. So that way we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about. So let me explain something. The mem serving as a prefix means from. But when you have it where the next letter is a hey or an aleph, the kirik, which is normally there, becomes a zereh. All right, so we say mayhem, all right, or mehen and not mihen. All right, so that's something I wanted to point out, okay, in that particular regard. So what are we looking at right here? This means from you, masculine plural, all right? Then you have from you, feminine plural. All right? Miken hayala dot. From you all, feminine plural, are the female children. Wagam hayaladin, as well as the male children. Miken ha'aboda. From you, masculine plural, is the job. All right? Mihen, from them. All right? From them, from them, feminine. All right? Mihen, umihen, from them. And who are they? Hen hanashim, they are the women. Mehen hashiurim asha anilamati. From them are the lessons which I studied. Mehen, umehen, hadbarim asha ani ratziti lilmod. From them, masculine, from them, feminine, all the things, hadbarim, all the things, because A-R-E-R is understood in Hebrew, asher, which, ani ratziti, which I wanted lilmod, to study. All right? Ani mekwawe, hashiur hazeh, sason laket, waratzon lelibot ken. All right? I hope this is rejoicing and acceptable in your heart. So this is something we just want to point out, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes. All right? Now, brothers and sisters, the next thing we want to get into, all right? Because we went over the aspect of the lamed. The aspect of the lamed serving as the prefix there. Remember lesson number 6? We went over the prefixes and the vowels extensively. All right? We tried to, in Shema Israel, give a juicy, well-detailed lesson, all right? Once it comes down to teaching Hebrew in this particular regard, okay? Next thing, brothers and sisters, we want to sit there and get into, all right? In regards to all of that is like or as, all right? Like or as. And this is served by the kaf or the kaf mem yod, kimo or ka. Now, in Hebrew, you have it to where one would say, mi kimo ka, who is like thee? Mi kimo ka, Yah be'elim, who is like thee among the gods, O Yah? Ain't kimo Yah, there is none like Yah. So this is something, brothers and sisters, we just want to point out for edification purposes. All right? So we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about. All right? We have what? Ka, like or as. All right? Ma? To? Okay. Oh, bad, sorry. All right? We have kamoni. Not Japanese, okay? One person actually said that before, but anyway. Kamoni means like me or as me. All right? Now that's masculine or feminine. Okay? So this is why in Shema Israel here, we don't teach grammatia because as you can see, kimo means like or as, but when you're saying like or as me, there is no wow there. It's just the mem, the kaf part of me, the mem with the kolam. Now, if you dealt Hebrew solely with grammatia, you would say kaf is 20, mem is 40, wow is 6. So that's 20 and 40, which gives you 60. Then there's the wow, which serves as 6. So if that be the case, how then can you drop the wow, meaning 6, and still get the same meaning? This is why we don't teach grammatia, even though we do admit that Hebrew doesn't have a numerical value, as we went over in lesson number 13. See why the lessons lead one to the next? So this is something we want to point out, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes. All right. Next we have what? All right. Kamo, when the vowel comes back. Ka. All right. Like or as you. Masculine. This is why the Most High, not saying that the Most High is a male, but just like when they say in the prayer, Mi Kimo Ka, who is like you. Yamin Ka, meaning your right hand. All right? But Kamo Ka means like you or as you. So let me put that in a sentence. All right? Kamo Ka, Yadati Asitahu. Like you, I know you would do that. Ki aniyodea oka, because I know you. Aniyodea ma'aseka, I know your actions. All right? If you listen to these lessons meticulously, you're getting a lot of information. All right? So we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about for edification purposes, brothers and sisters. All right? We're going to go on, all right, into the next particular subject. We have this here. Kamok, like or as you, feminine. So if I was talking to my daughter, I would say, he kamok, she is like you. If I was talking to her mom about our daughter, I would say, he kamok, she is like you. All right? So this is something we want to point out for edification purposes. If you're talking to a male about his daughter, you will sit there and say, he kimoka, she is like you. Or to her mom, he kamok, she is like you. So these are just things we want to point out, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes. All right. One time I didn't actually this past weekend, we had a Hebrew lesson last so-called Thursday because I wasn't here this past weekend. I was dealing in regards to my family, but down south. But anyway, making a longer story short, somebody was saying, he doma kimoka. She looks like you, but saying it in the aspect in English. But when somebody noticed me and my younger sister walking, they were saying that, oh, he doma kimoka. She looks or she resembles as you, but they said it in English. So I'm just showing how that particular thing works. All right. So we can gain some understanding. So we can gain some aspect of understanding for edification purposes. Okay. Next, brothers and sisters, what we want to sit there and deal with. All right. In this particular regard, all right, is this. Kamohu, like or as him. All right? Kamoha, like or as her. All right? Then you have Kamonu, like or as us. All right? So this is something, brothers and sisters, as stated, we want to point out for edification purposes. Okay? Let's go over this. We have kamohu. Kamohu asita. Like him, you have done. Ani ra'iti ma'aseka hatobin. I see your good works. Ata po'el kimo abika ma'aseka kamohu. Your actions and your deeds are like that of your father. I see your good works. These are things you just want to show for edification purposes. Kamoha, he, mibashelet, kimo imah. She cooks like her mother. Kamoha, bita, mibashelet. Like her daughter cooks. All right, mibashelet means cooks when you speak in present tense about female. All right, so this is something we want to get into for edification purposes. Once it comes down to something like this, you will begin to sit there and see how Hebrew works in this particular regard, brothers and sisters, and you'll begin to sit back and see how you can formulate a sentence just by knowing a little bit. You get the grammar in, the sentence structure that is. You understand? So we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about for edification purposes. All right? Brothers and sisters, this knowledge of us being Israel is not to be taken as light. Oh, I wanted to, before I go in my spiel, I wanted to get into this one right here. Hamonu, like us. All right? Eka amim kamonu. How are the nations as us? Eka amim naflu kamonu. How have the nations fallen as us? All right, that's something you may see something in like the book of Isaiah. All right, so now back into my tangent, not tangent, but lecture, if you will. All right, brothers and sisters, and that's this. This knowledge of us as far as being Israel is not to be taken lightly. Everyone may not agree with you, but one thing we want to know and emphasize on is this. And I'm going to ask the brother Josiah to pass me the Tanakh, because I want to read something, please.
Yeah.
All right? Okay. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 1. And it says this. Wa'daber Yah'el Moshe le'emor. And Moses saying, Daber b'nei Yisrael. Speak to all the congregation of the children of Israel. Wa'amorata aleihem. And you shall say unto them, you, Ki kwadosh ani Yahovah Elohim. You shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. Why did I read that in Leviticus 19, verse 3? No one is perfect, but we are saying that we are striving to be like the servants and as the servants and to become the servants of the Most High. So with that being the case, certain things are very important for edification purposes. Knows clean Israel. All right? This is something we want to have done. All right? Now, kwe, keep macha, tamid Israel. Keep your nose clean always. If you're not arrogant, nobody's saying anybody is perfect on earth in that regard. You understand? But if you're living dirty, if you live in fat, as stated when the teaching went on concerning the whole thing with Exodus, Bo, which is also on this channel, none of that means nothing. It's about your deeds. And in this congregation, indeed, do these kind of presentations and lessons for free for the people. All right? So that way we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about. People won't feel pressured people won't say, oh, I ain't got the money. What am I going to do? No, no, no. These is being presented for free to the people. All right? So let's go on as we were. Koto, Kimo Ken, Kimo Ken, Kimo Hem, Kimo Hen. All right? All right, so let's look at this, brothers and sisters. Right? Means what? Like you. Masculine plural. So if I'm speaking to two or more males or a mixed company of males and females, Toda, I would say Kimo Kem. Kimo Kem Asu Hayaladi. Like you, so did your children. All right? Kimo Ken. Like or as you. All right? Feminine plural. This aspect, as we already went over with the Kem, this is the suffix. This serves in many words now as the prefix with the kaf. That's why lesson number 6, I keep emphasizing, is very important. Mo Ken, then you have what? Like or as masculine. Then you have like or as them feminine. All right? So what are we looking at, brothers and sisters, is this. You have Kimo Ken, Kimo Ken, Kimo Hen, Mem Sophie, Nun Sophie, Mem Sophie, Nun Sophie. All right? So, Kimo Hen, Yellow Day Hen. Kimo Hen means what? Like them. The brother, when I asked, and I don't mean to put him on blast, when I say Kimo Hen means what? He, no disrespect to my helper, said like you. Why? Because we have to also, if I can use this as an example, to develop an ear for Hebrew. When I say ear, I'm talking about what's covered with my tabul here, E-A-R. We have to develop an ear for it. Once you talk in and get your conversation up, that kind of thing, Kem and Hem, you already know what it is. All right? So that's not to put the young man on blast, but it's just to show what it is in Israel. Because the word ha is not Hebrew. All right. So this is something we want to point out for edification purposes. Then you have Kimohen, like them as stated. Kimohen, like them feminine. So, brothers and sisters, we would say something to the effect, all right, as saying, Kimohen ta'asena yeladay hen. Like them, so will their children do, but that's in the all feminine. All right, so brothers and sisters, I hope this presentation is not over, has been enjoyable for you all to hear as much or more, even though it's very enjoyable for me to teach it. I get a kick out of doing this. I like doing this. All right, so is all at the end of the day about giving glory to the Most High. All right? So let's continue on, brothers and sisters. We have, all right, the aspect continue in the preposition of the Hebrew tongue. We have this. All right? This here means in or with. Ba or ba means in or with. All right? So this is something we want to point out for edification purposes. Okay? So let's continue on in this particular aspect. All right? Let's look at this. You have be. All right? In or with me. All right? Now, this bet also in certain cases means against, but it's not used commonly as such. All right? So, this is something we want to talk about for evidence purposes. I don't like violence, but in this regard, if it says, for instance, who Nilkam be, that means he fights with me or he fights in me. But in the context of the sentence, you can tell if it's for your benefit or for your detriment. All right, so that's just how it works in that particular regard for edification purposes. All right, next we have, brothers and sisters, this here, the ka, meaning in or with you, masculine. All right, ani yodeya atayako la asot hadabor hazeh. All right, Shalom. All right, text me as soon as you can, brother.
Okay.
All right, so let's go on. We have, as stated, the ka, meaning in or with you. All right, hu baka l'da'at halashon ha'ibrit. It is in you, it is within you to know this language, Hebrew. All right, so we just want to show that for edification purposes in that particular regard. All right. So let's continue on. Okay, we're going to continue on with the class. All right. All right. We're going to continue on with the class, brothers and sisters. And dealing in this particular regard. All right. We have bak, not back. Bak, okay? And that means in you, feminine, okay? Then we have bow, B-O-W, but I'm not saying bow. That's why I paid attention to listen as well, all right? Then we have ba. This means in him. This means in her, all right? So, bak, in you or with you in the aspect of female. So, on bak, yeladayik, with you or your children. Yeladayik, bak. all right? Or more so, you may say Yeladayik Imak, more so correctly, but we just want to use that for reasoning purposes. Then we have, brothers and sisters, I want to emphasize this, all right? This bow here, like in the Torah portion in Exodus 10, this bow and this bow are two different things. This bow that you see there with the waw means in him or with him, all right? This bow with the aleph means to come, C-O-M-E, all right? So that way we can gain some understanding for edification purposes. Then we have ba, all right? Which means what? In her or with her, all right? So these are just certain things we want to point out, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes, all right? Next, brothers and sisters, and elders included, what we want to get into is this particular subject matter right here. Banu, Baken, Baken means in us, in you, masculine plural, in you, feminine plural, all right? So what are we looking at? Banu, in us, that's masculine or feminine, all right? Baken, in you, masculine plural, two or more males or a mixture of company of males and females. Baken, which means what? In you, only feminine, plural, all right? So this is something, brothers and sisters, we want to point out for edification purposes and reasoning, okay? So if we've been paying attention, it's easy, brothers and sisters, at this point, much more easier to be able to formulate and make sentences based on some of these same kind of things. All right? So let's go on to the next thing and conclude with that part. By him, by him, in them, masculine, in them, feminine. All right? In the book of Leviticus, you shall walk in my commandments. Just walks in them. In them, in that regard, is you'll see the word here, by him. Masculine, in them. By him, in them. All right? It's what absorbs you. So this is something, brothers and sisters, we want to point out for edification purposes. So let's continue, all right, and what we're dealing with in this particular regard. This particular lesson is not a short one. It's an extensive one because we get things covered within a particular lesson. This also, brothers and sisters, as stated, we are following, they say meticulous, but we're following a certain syllabus in this particular aspect for edification purposes. Okay? So let's continue on, brothers and sisters, where we were at. So that way we can gain some understanding in this particular regard. All right? Now, sit there, brothers and sisters, to review the things that we went over. lesson. All right? And let's do so. You have the aspect of the lamed. You have, brothers and sisters, the aspect of the men, the kaf, and the bet. So, 2 or 4 of or from with the men. Then you have like or as with the kaf. Then you have in or with in the aspect with the bet. All right? So let's go on. Li, mimeni, kamoni, bi. Let's do that. Lakah, mimka, kimoka, beka. Lak, memek, kamok, bak. Lo, memenu, kamohu, bo. Lanu, memenu, kamonu, banu. La, memena, kimoha, ba. Laken, miken, kimoken, baken. Lahen, mehen, kimohen, bahen. Lahem, mehem, kamohen, bahen. Lahen, mehen, kamohen, bahen. The lamed, serving in the aspect 2 or 4. The mem, serving in the aspect of from or them. The kaf, serving in the aspect of like or as. The bet, serving in the aspect of in or with. All of these letters, if you remember lesson number 6, Kimoamorati Lakim, as I said unto you all, these serve as the prefixes in part. There's more prefixes than these, but these are the ones that we're going over in the aspect of preposition in Hebrew. All right? So that way we can gain some understanding for edification purposes. All right? The next thing, brothers and sisters, that we want to sit there and get into in this particular regard, all right, is a little bit of grammar and what we kind of been talking about already. All right? And it goes as such. These are rules you may want to write down. In Hebrew, biblical, okay? All right? The sentence structure is, and it equals what is generally said as what? The subject, verb, and object. Pardon me. It serves as the verb, subject, and object. Verb, subject, object. V stands for verb, subject is the S, and the O is the object. So let's show what we're talking about biblically. Let's look at this word right here. All right? You have the aleph, the kaf, and the lamed. All right? Akal, which means 8, the root word of eat. All right? Then you have Dawid, all right? Translated as beloved and transliterated as David, all right? Ha-mazon. I call Dawid Ha-mazon. This is the verb. This is the subject. This is the object. All right? So, Akal Dawid Hamazon. Now, as stated in biblical Hebrew, it serves as the verb, the subject, and the object. All right? Now, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes, let's go over a particular subject matter, if we will. Right? You have, this is another rule, still being number one, in modern, I'll put in quotes, Hebrew, it is, all right? So that way we can gain some understanding for edification purposes. SVO, subject, verb, object. So we're dealing at this point with the aspect of the beginning of sentences, all right? And let's look at this. You have, brothers and sisters, the subject. Thou, like that, sorry about that. You have Dawid, Akal, Hamazon. All right? So, in modern Hebrew, which is not wicked, by the way, the subject here, all right, the verb here, and the object here. In biblical Hebrew, you have the verb, the subject, and the object. Why do I did that? Because in Leviticus 19, as in many other parts, it says, Wadaber Yah el Moshe. All right? Wadaber means and he spoke. To speak is a verb. So in biblical, you have the verb starting in the beginning of the sentence. And then within the sentence, you find then the subject and the object. Now, if you use either one of these, it's neither right nor wrong. It's just the aspect of how the sentence structure went as Hebrew went along in time. All right? So this is something, brothers and sisters, that we just want to point out for edification purposes. All right? So let's go on, brothers and sisters, into the next particular subject that we could be dealing with in this particular regard. All right? Thank you for the time. Okay? Let's put up, if we will, brothers and sisters, some aspect of this here. Akal, the verb, in root meaning to eat. All right? Aha. All right? A verb meaning in root. All right? Asaf. In root. Your first three verbs that we've given in this class as far as the lesson. To eat. To love. Asaf. To gather. Now I want to emphasize, brothers and sisters, on a particular point. When I am saying, okay, and presenting this, when I'm saying to, it shows that it's a verb. But literally means he ate, ahab, he loved, asaf, he gathered. All right? So next time, we're going to be dealing with the aspect of the infinitives in Hebrew for edification purposes. To more aspect of the sentence structure, more aspect of, as Kohen Mikael pointed out years ago in Hashaba, Kitasika, class of conversation. All right? So we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about for edification purposes. All right, brothers and sisters. Lastly, concerning this particular lesson, all right, I want to keep that up there on the board, see it, whether they pause the video or not, all right, and get into a particular aspect in grammar that is extremely important. I stated earlier in lesson number 1 and number 2 that the letter Hey, I personally call the thumb of the Hebrew alphabet. Now, I'll call this what we're going to get into and close out the thumb of Hebrew grammar. And that is, brothers and sisters, this particular word here. All right? The word et. No disrespect intended to brothers and sisters who are messianic. It has nothing to do with Jesus Christ. One of the things we want to get into, nonetheless, is the letter Aleph is the first letter in the Hebrew alphabet. This is the Segol. All right, making the eh sound as in the word pen, as we went over in lesson number 3. All right, see why it's important to go back. Then you got the letter Tau, et. All right, some people say beginning and end, but the letter Aleph means, as stated, to teach. Ox, like the animal, all right? And then you got Tau, which serves as the letter, or pardon me, the definition of Tau means sign. So maybe you're teaching a sign, perhaps. But we want to show when this particular thing is used in this particular regard, so that way we can gain something for edification purposes. For instance, in the book of Exodus, it says what? Zakor Yom HaShabbat. Remember, Zakor is the root. Zakor is the command form. Et, showing what is referred to, brothers and sisters, as the definite article. Means something that is actually constructed and built in. It's not just something that's just all over the place. It's something that's actually a pinpoint, actual type of thing. It's pinpointed, if you will. All right? Yom, that's how you know the Shabbat, there's a rotate. All right? Zakor et Yom HaShabbat. All right? Remember the day of. Now, the word et, brothers and sisters, is also used in front of a proper, as the saying goes, name. It's used in front of the word the in the English breakdown as the definite article. Now, when we say article, we're talking about any particular thing. Day, time, a particular named person, all right? So that's the aspect in that particular regard concerning in the grammar aspect of the word et. All right, so we can gain some understanding of what we're talking about. All right. Now, brothers and sisters, the word et is also used in what they call transitive verbs. All right. All right, et. I wanted to put that in the box there. Transitive verbs are verbs that has to have 2 or more objects in the same sentence to show for edification purposes. All right, so this is something we want to talk about in this particular regard. Let's go, for instance, in the scriptures. In the book of Genesis chapter 1, the Hebrew says, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim wa et haaretz. All right? The word et is used there because of the transitive verbs, such as the word bara. The word bara means he created. but the objects that we're talking about is the eretz, the earth, and the shemayim, the heaven. So that's how that particular thing works in that particular regard. So in concluding, the word et, for grammar purposes, is used in the aspect of transitive verbs, a name, as in, let's say, Yeshaya, Shalomo, Dawid, Eliyahu, so forth. And as well as the definite article. Zakor, remember, this hey means the. So therefore, that's definite. That's an actual thing. That's how you know I stated Shabbat doesn't rotate. It's not just a Sabbath. It's Yom HaShabbat, the Sabbath day. All right, not a Sabbath day. So that's something we want to talk about and show for edification purposes. And with that, I say Torah for the time, giving honor and praise to Yah, the creator and the maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshaya Yisrael. I can be contacted at 908-587-4841 by text or call. Okay. We're going to go and conclude and close out in this particular regard. All right? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Elohim. Where Elohim Abotim. Ya Ale we ya bo we ya gia. Where ye ra'e. Where ye raze. Wayi shama. Wayi pahwe. Wayi zakir. Zik ronenu. Upi podenu. Wazik ron abotenu. Wazik ron mashiach ben dawi abdeka. Wazik ron Yerushalayim ir kwatcheka. Wazik ron et amka bet Israel saneka. Bif leta l'tova l'chem ul chesed ul rachamim l'chayim tovim ul shalom b'yom hayom hazeh Yah hamachazir sheki nato l'ziyon modi anatnu l'ka she'atahu Yah Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'olam va'ed. Hallelujah, hallelujah, amen, amen. Shalom l'chem. Next lesson will be posted. Shalom.